You know what I'm saying? Hey everybody, what's going on? Yaga here. Welcome to Yaga Rambles, episode number 2. And we're off. Continuing with my podcast here, man. So I've been thinking lately, what it's like, what qualifies you as an adult. I know, like, when you turn 18, that's like the legal age when you can like get in trouble and you're responsible for a bunch of things. But what about, like, mentally do you think you're actually an adult? What I mean by that is, like, in my 20s, I don't know how it was or is for most people, but let's be honest, your 20s, you don't know who the fuck you are. I didn't, my early 20s, man, I couldn't wait to turn 21 so I can just go out to the bar and start fucking getting wasted and drinking. Partying all the time. I mean, that's what I look forward to. And several years after turning 21. But I don't think until I got into my late 20s, like 30 years old, I'm 31, and I think I finally started, like, because I feel like here, let's put it this way. I feel like your 20s are like your first half of your prime, when you're physically, like, at your peak, you're at your most quick-witted, mentally, your 30s I consider like the second half of your prime. So if you were fucking around in your 20s and you're still fucking around, like, partying and not doing anything by your 30s, I think by that second half, it's kind of a wake-up call to, like, start getting shit moving, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. That doesn't necessarily mean, like, I don't know, your perception of things change, and, what was fun, like, 10 years ago just, isn't fun. And what's funny is when I was younger, I heard a bunch of older people talk about it. Oh man, that stuff's gonna change. And when you're a fucking young kid, naive, you don't believe it. Like, oh, what the fuck ever, man. Oh. And then you get to that age where they were telling you that, and you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I don't know what qualifies. I don't know. I feel like my 30s so far have been great. Different outlooks, different things. I'm finding a lot of fun in different areas. I'm really opening up my mind to new adventures. I used to think I was open-minded, but then tracing back, to my younger years, I wasn't, man. I was a closed-minded motherfucker, And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like the area I grew up in or just something here and there, but uh-oh. Alright, sorry about that. I almost thought I wasn't even recording, but I was. Man. Yeah, anyway, my 30s, man, it's great, man. I don't know, I'm trying new stuff, and once you deflate your ego a little bit, ego and your pride really get in the way of actually progressing forward as, like, a person and, like, just achieving real joy. I mean, your ego always stands up and goes, oh, crosses his arms. It's like, oh no, I'm not gonna do this. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, and what I mean by your ego, like, for example, when I was younger, I didn't like tattoos or people with tattoos, and for, like, the dumbest reasons. Like, I just hated it. Like, I hated people who were like, oh, tattoos, and then just get that for no reason. Oh, fucking idiots. And, and when I grew up, my old perception of what people with tattoos were like bad people, and we shouldn't do this and that. Then I get to an age, and I get my first tattoo, which was kind of a funny story, actually. It's a tattoo that's, like, it's from my grandmother. It's her initials with a cross and stuff and on my ankle. But when I got this tattoo, I was so passionate about how much I hated tattoos that when I said I was getting a tattoo, I had about 8 or 9 of my friends show up and watch me get this tattoo because they couldn't fucking believe it. They couldn't fucking believe that Yaga, who, like, that's how much hatred I put towards this. I despised it. So people were like, I don't fucking believe this. I gotta go see it. So I had like 8, 9 friends watching me get my first tattoo, and they were like in awe because that's how I thought. And I've been looking back on those times when I thought like this, and why was I thinking that way? I'm like, was it, I'm not trying to understand it. I'm just more or less like, what the fuck was I thinking? I mean, what was going through my head that had that much ball of hate and hatred towards people with tattoos? I mean, now I don't care. Like, tattoos, they are a little trendy now. Like, everybody's like, oh, I got tattooed. Now they're like, you're almost cooler now if you have tattoos in a way. I guess, I don't know. They're more mainstream than they ever were, I think, than even when I was growing up as a kid. But regardless, whether you have tattoos or you're not, who gives a shit? That doesn't say what kind of person you really are. I mean, I met people covered in tattoos, and they're some of the most down-to-earth, likable people I've ever met than people, who didn't have tattoos and they're assholes. I mean, whatever. Who gives a shit? Who cares what's on the surface, man? It's all about what's on the inside. It's on the inside of you guys. And that's true. I mean, I think as, humans, we just put on this wonderful shell. But, what's really going on inside, only we know. I don't know. And it's another one of the things I've been working on, too, as I've gotten older and realized, like, you can't assume everybody knows what you know, people come from all different kinds of walks of life, different backgrounds, everything, and I'm guilty of like that. Yeah, I assume someone just like knew how to change a tire on a car. You know what I mean? I thought that was just like common sense 101. Like, oh man, you don't know how to change a fucking tire. Fuck's wrong with you? Like, But then you realize not everybody does or knows how to. Just like, and that's how I've been able to humble myself. Like, I've realized that not everybody and everything revolves around the way I fucking think. Which is why I partially started this podcast, because I wanted to kind of branch out my opinions, but I want to also eventually get some people on here. I want to talk about things. I want to hear different points of views from all different likes of people about all different subjects. Because it's interesting. I want to hear where everyone comes from, because I know where I come from, and I'm working on myself, but I want to hear where other people come from, what they think about shit that's going on, their opinions and things. I'll tell you this, though, I don't want to hear from the people that are easily offended. Or, you know what, maybe I do. All those little whiny bitches out there lately complaining about everything, offended by, like I did my video on my OCD Target shirt, and there's a bunch of fucking people just all offended, and it's like, what the fuck? What did your parents do? Who raised you to be such a little bitch? I mean, like, honestly, like, my parents are great. They did the best with what they could, but they taught me manners, respect for everybody, and, you can't always get what you want. And when you realize you can't always get what you want, people, that's the problem. I think these kids are being told, you get whatever you want, and you bitch and complain about it till you get it, and then you get it. And it's sad, because it creates shitty character in people, in my opinion, and it creates a bunch of people, like, you got almost 400 million people in this country, and you got a small percentage that don't like something, and then they cave in and ruin it for everybody. It's like the one fucking kid in class back in the day who would like be the loud, obnoxious motherfucker, and then we'd all get in trouble because he ruined it for the rest of us. Like, that's what's going on, but in the scale of this entire country. This whole country is like, we're in the classroom, and that one fucking kid is ruining it for the rest of us. And it's just, I see it every day. And like, I try not to get involved. Like, I do my part in the world, and I live my life the way I want to live it, but then I just can't help but like wonder, how the fuck do these people fucking get like this? How? I don't get it. It's baffling my mind. So if you want to comment on this one, if you guys are listening, I want to hear what the fuck you think about it and why people are doing it. What's your thoughts? I don't fucking know. I mean, is it the parents? Is it the environment these kids grow up in? I mean, hell, I've even met people that are older than me that kind of act like that, like offended. I have an aunt. Like, here's some funny shit. I have an aunt who's crazy, to say the least, and she's out there, man, and she's kind of like that person, who is offended by every little thing. I mean, she once got on the news, I remember when I was a kid, for boycotting some fucking play that my cousin was in, or my cousin's school they were doing, and she actually got on the news. Oh, Schindler's List. They were watching Schindler's List. She didn't like that, and got this whole hoopla. I don't know. Maybe look it up. Maybe there's an old news article from like the early '90s. Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, I see these people just every day. Bird, it's blah, 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 blah. Anyway, let me know, people. Let me know what's wrong with these fucking people. And you know what I just saw too? Real quick, shooting back to Christmas. I saw this lady who posted a picture on Facebook, and she got like 300 presents for her kids or some shit, and it's like covered the whole Christmas tree. Some people are offended by that too, and I don't see why people are offended by that. Who gives a shit how much this lady like actually spent on Christmas gifts for her kids? Who cares? And then bullshit though, she didn't want some attention. When you post something on social media, people, you want people to see that shit. You're not posting that for you. You want people to go, look at me. Look what I'm doing, motherfucker. I did all these presents for my kids. So in that sense, you gotta expect some flack on from the internet people and those crazy trolls out there that just like to comment on everybody's either happiness or misery, which just seems like what I see on the internet. I mean, I do my YouTube thing and I check out people's stuff, but I don't sit there and fucking troll around. And I usually try to say things that are positive. I mean, and if I don't like it, I keep it to myself. There's no point in spreading negativity around. Gets you nowhere, people, and actually I think damages your soul a little bit more when you're just being negative all the time. You need to be positive and uplifting, and that's something I'm practicing it a lot more. But this lady, I don't know, whatever. She bought a lot of gifts for her kids, spoiled the shit out of them. You don't know the situation, don't know if the kids are spoiled, but maybe they appreciate money. Who go fucking knows? Because you don't know, because you're not fucking them, But all you see is this picture, and on one hand, don't post something like that if you don't want people to react. And you want people to react when it's on Facebook, people. Let's be honest. You post that shit, people are going to see it. People are going to talk. People are going to have their opinions. Hell, I post shit on my fucking Facebook Word of Yaga page every day, and some people like it, some people don't, I remember I got shit once because I talked about an episode of Walking Dead, and dude's like, oh, you fucking spoil it. Even though when I posted that, I said, warning, spoilers, and then the guy continued to read the paragraph that I wrote, so that's your own fucking fault, buddy. Woo! Oh, shit. Man. I don't know. We gotta stop being so whiny. Anyway. Holidays. Christmas around the corner. Hopefully it's a good one. Alright. I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. I'm gonna keep these short. Give me some ideas. What do you want to hear my opinions on? I would love to know if you actually listen to this entire conversation. If you do, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you all for that kind of support. Because sometimes I know it's hard to listen to people talk. But, whatever. Thanks again, guys. I'm out. Bye.